Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Okay. Looks like we have StreamYard up and running. Shalom, Israel. With Isupk, start off 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. Started off in 1969, where we teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians make up the 12 tribes of Israel. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite group, any other group out there, any fake camp, any fake group out there. If you're not under command of General Yohana, then you're not in the truth. So you got to understand that. Get into the Isupk under command of General Yohana. I'm Officer Kazak Shapar, teaching the LASHAWAN QADASH class here tonight, where we teach blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians, the ancient and the Syrian Hebrew. Okay? So what we're going to do. Right. Hope people can see me. And we're on StreamYard tonight, so go ahead and join in the class. Yeah, there we go. So join in the class. Try to operate both of them at the same time, kind of rough. But make sure you can hear me for people joining in. It's locked for a second. Okay. Good. All right. So it looks like we have the class up and running pretty good. In Hebrew, we learn ancient Hebrew from the Most High, you know. And of course, when we were in our Syrian captivity, I go over this every week so that people can get adjusted. People who are just coming in into the class. Of course, like I said, we have the StreamYard up, and we have the Facebook and the YouTube channels up. So make sure you join class, get in there and get your credit. Get in class, make sure you have your the women, make sure you have your covering over your head. And the men, make sure you have a war crown, all right? And dressed in all black. I'm in all black just for an example here, right? But make sure you guys do that. So, but we teach Hebrew. It has 22 characters. I believe Officer Shar has put in the chat for credit for your name. A lot of people still look for the Hebrew name. That's what you want to do. Join class and get credit for that, right? And the Assyrian Hebrew. Assyrian Hebrew, well, the ancient Hebrew has 22 characters. Well, and that's why, you know, we always say Abba, Gada, Hawa, Zaka. It's a rough language. Because, you know, we're men of war. Abba, we're the barbarians. Abba, Gada, Hawa, Zaka, Tayakala, Manasa, Aipa, Taza, Kwara, Shata. And it's the same thing here. It's Aipa, Apa, God, Apa, Gada, Hawa, Zaka, Tayakala, Manasa. Okay? All right? Pa, Taza, Kwara, Shata. And of course, in the Assyrian Hebrew, we have 5 characters. You can call them special or ending characters. They occur at the end of a word. And we're going to get into that today. We'll still wait for people to check in. Make sure you check in your Facebook and your YouTube channels. It's in the chat. So that you can get the credit that's as you need it in class. You know, whether you be a trooper, a young man, a woman, you know, sister, I'm sorry, or a woman, whatever. If you're checking in the Hebrew, if you're Black, Hispanic, or Native Indians, make sure you check in the chat and get your credit. I'm going to, let's see. Okay, good. Let's make sure we have, trying to make sure we have all of the people can hear me. If you can hear me, put check in the StreamYard and put a 1 in the chat, make sure. But as we wait for more people to check in the class, I'm going to go over some Passover terms and get you guys to spell out some things for me. Freshen your Hebrew up. That's always important, you know. I think one of the first thing I'll write is this word while we're here. See what we got here. Something like that. See if I can get this word spelled a little better than that. Yeah, let's make it like this. Like that. Something like that. Trying to be consistent for everybody. All right. Something like that. There we go. We'll write a few words here. We'll write at least 1. All right. Let's see. Let me see. What's that? The one right here. Which one is it? Make sure I have it spelled right. Oh yeah. Okay. There we go. That's That's a Hebrew word. I want you guys to grab that word and see if you transliterate that. Let's see. We have people checking in. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay. As we check in the class, so we're going to talk a few about some Passover terms, but the Most High, the reason for the Passover when we were in our Exodus in Egypt, and the Most High gave us a way of escape from these heathen Africans, man. He gave us a way so that we could get out of that Egypt, you know? And that's what Passover is really about. He destroyed Egypt with all these plagues, and he says, time to go, time to get out of here. And that's when we're going to go into a few of these words here about the Passover. You said in Exodus, the 12th chapter, you know, I believe it was the Sock Exodus 20 all the way down the whole chapter, but you'll read about it. But I got a word here I want you guys to transliterate. Tell me what that word is. That's people checking in class. But I'll talk about it. In Exodus, when Moses and Aaron, I think they were 80 and 83, something like that, 81 and 83 years of age, going through Passover. They wasn't young, man. They were old brothers, man. And Moses had like a speech impediment, and of course Aaron had to speak for him. All the things they went through and all of the wilderness. They want to get them out of the Egypt from Pharaoh, man, who would kill us, man, kill our babies. He tried his best to kill all the male children. And the Lord said, it's time to get out of here. He would make us build his pyramids and all of the bondage that we went through in Egypt. And the Lord said, well, it's time to just get out. I'm trying to check to see if more people checking in the class, because I have to walk over and physically let you in the class there. But like I said, we're live on Facebook and YouTube and StreamYard tonight. Isupk, South Carolina, Kazakh Shapar. And like I said, we're teaching some Passover terms. And we'll go over this first term here as people check in, drinking a yaya and the wine. But getting back to the story, Moses and Aaron led the children of Israel. Well, Moses mainly, man, and Aaron had to be his mouthpiece. And the Lord said, well, it was time. Like the Most High said, well, gather all the people and tell them this. That's what we're going to do. We're getting ready to leave Egypt, man. This is Exodus, the 12th chapter. That's why Exodus is called Exodus. It means it's to leave. I mean, it's getting ready. It means that's our exit. That's our way out of there, Exodus. But that's what it is. That's what that word is. I mean, we were in bondage in Matazarian, or Egypt. That's what it's called. And the Lord was going to send a death angel to keep us in a house so that he can pass over us, man. So that these were death angels. They had their eyes set on all of the firstborn of Egypt, because they had the Passover. I'm sorry, the Pharaoh. That's the one. The Pharaoh had hardened his heart. And the Most High was showing his power, man. He was showing the children of Israel. And he was showing Pharaoh, look, all these plagues, lice, frogs, gnats, man, blood, All these things were plaguing Israel. And and the Most High had enough. So I got to get my people. That's how you know we're the children of Israel, because the Lord passed over us, man. But he didn't. He wasn't so kind to the Egyptians, man. He beat them down to the ground. You know, killed their firstborn. And if we wouldn't have obeyed the Most High, it would have been us stuck. Some of us stuck up in there. But the Most High had mercy on us, man. You know, he had mercy on us. And let me see who's in the chat here. Hold a minute. Okay. All right. Let's see here. All right. Okay. Here we go. So anyway, still waiting for people. Well, I'll go ahead and give this word right here. This word right here is pa sa pasak. You know, I'll wait for more people to check in so they can tell me. Actually, I'll go ahead and tell you. Pasak simply means Passover. That's what it means. Passover, it means Passover, the Most High passed over us. You know, the word itself means past. All right, who passed over. That's what the word means. Pasak, who passed over. You know, that's what that term is saying. So when you see, and of course I'll write it in, let me see if I can write it in, I write it also in ancient Hebrew. Of course, that's Assyrian here. Do a lot of writing in Assyrian. We'll go ahead and write it in ancient Hebrew real quick here. Let's see. Like this, like that. That's a pa. And of course, a sa would be like this. That's pa with an independent connector there for pa. And then we want to write the ka. Got to make sure, because there's two ka's here. So we want to make sure which ka that we pick, man. So it'll be this one right here. That ka, that's CHA. And that's where that comes from. You drop the double A's there. CHA. So it says pa, then you want to join a dependent connector. Okay, so I'll write that. Let me write this: independent and dependent connector. Okay, and those are connectors. Of course, you need to understand that as there. Slack for a second. Let me make sure people got this in YouTube and the slack for 1 second here. Let me see. All right, shalom. Just testing for a second, guys. All right, talk about that. Just want to make sure StreamYard is working properly. Anyway, what I was saying, yeah, gotcha. Just make sure you guys go ahead and check in, class, troopers, young men, and Akwafin, okay? But the, anyway, Passover right here, Pa, independent connected, and of course you have sock like that. Independent is this connector right here. All right, and the dependent, of course, is the U right here. And of course, what we're doing here is just joining these two sounds together, like that. Okay? And the Passover was the Passover. It's like I said, it's the as a matter of fact, let me get the Bible. Hold on. Let me make sure. It's a lot for a second. Yeah. All right. Let's just go over it a little bit here. Make sure people understand. Okay. It's 9. 11, 12. Let's go to 12 and let's say 20. Yeah. Let's see. Lord speak more. Okay. Of course, it was talking about the talking about 11. Okay, here. Thus shall he eat within the loins of his shoes or feet. Stand on that you should eat it. It is best. Okay, here we go. Verse 12, and the Lord tells us when to keep it, of course, and how to keep it. And let's just read verse. And if the household be to live, let's talk about the Passover lamb. And speak to the children of Israel, verse 3, saying, the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb. You know, this this is what the Most High wants you to do, according to the house of their fathers. And the house, lamb for a house. Make sure you have enough lamb for that house, right? And if the household is too little, that's what it's saying, verse 4, for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house taken it according to the number of the souls. That's how many people are had in that house, right? Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. I mean, you know, make sure you got enough, because they're not gonna waste his lamb, man. That's what the Passover was for. That's really what Pesach was for, to make sure that we had a Passover feast, man, to commemorate and to get out of that wicked Egypt, man, that we were living in. The Lord passed over us and he killed the Egyptians. That's what this is about. Your lamb shall be without blemish. Make sure you have a lamb that had no blemish, man. Let's see what we have. A male of the first year. Ye shall take it out of the sheep, take it out from the sheep or from the goats, and ye shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. The Most High has specific times to do this, because he's making sure we get out of that in haste, man, and make sure you do it at the right time. Make sure you have a lamb with no blemish. Most High is very particular. Make sure the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel kill it, and they shall take of the blood. Here's the thing right here. Take, in verse 7, and they shall take of the blood and strike it in the two sides of the post and on the upper doorpost. They make sure you strike it on the side and the upper doorpost. That's what this is talking about, right? To strike it on the two doorposts and on the upper doorposts of the houses wherein they shall eat it. Pesach. That's what this is, man. It literally means Passover. Okay. All right. Or to pass by, or I think I have who passed over. The Lord passed over us, right? Passed over us and he destroyed the Egyptians. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire, because they do it. That's like at night, because in the morning time they get ready to get out of here. And I just put in the chat of South Carolina, man, we're gonna have, like it says, after that, the unleavened bread. So they have to make sure they have leavening in their house. We'll read about that. And with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire. The Most High is specific. Make sure this was roasted with fire, right? His head and his legs, and with the purchase thereof. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning. That means whatever that's on there, ain't nobody get none of this lamb but the children of Israel. Make none of it last. And you shall let none of it remain until the morning, verse 10. And that which remaineth of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire. Okay. Verse 11. And thus shall ye eat it, with your loins girded. Right? That mean don't come out there with no pajama. Have your clothes ready. Be ready. Have your loins girded, man. You know, that means put something on. Be ready. Your shoes on your feet, your loins girded, man, and your staff in your hand. That means you're ready to walk. That's what this means, right? You get ready to get out of here, man. The Lord's passing over us. Putting the blood on the doorpost and over on the lintel above, man. You know, in your hand, and you shall eat of it in haste, and it is the Passover. Let me read that again. Verse 11. And thus you shall eat of it with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. That means speedily. I mean, don't play around with it. You eat this in haste. It is the Lord's Passover, for I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and I will smite all the firstborn of the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. Right? All them gods of Egypt, Most High is getting ready to destroy that, man. That's why that's why we're not supposed to be part of these other gods up here, man. And this wicked America. Because this ain't about a second Egypt, second Mount Azariah. The Most High, it all started right there. Most High actually started from the beginning, way back in Adam. You don't have no other gods before it, man. And I will execute judgment because I am the Lord. That's what the Most High is saying right there. He's making sure that you guys understand that this is a Passover, a sock, okay? That's what this is. It's a Passover. And so we'll write that word out here, and we'll move on to the next word here. That's what that is. Let me see who's checking the chat here. Well, check it out. Okay? But that's what this is. That's what this word spells. Pasah and the Syrian, because this is the ancient Hebrew. Pasak. Independent connector by itself. That pa. A little bit like that. And of course, sa and then ka. Pasak. That's what it means. It means to pass over. That's what the Most High did for his people. I mean, you know, he was very specific. I mean, he wrote it out plainly so people can understand that you're going to have to follow these directions in haste. And of course, when we talk about unleavened bread, it also said, let me matter of fact, let me read that part about unleavened bread real quick, because so nobody won't have any misunderstanding about leaving leavening in their house, right? During the Passover. Let's just go ahead and read it. For I will pass through the land of Egypt that night, and I will smite all the firstborn of the land of Egypt, both man and beast. And against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the house where you are. And when I see the blood, I will pasak. That's what that means, or pass over. That's where we get that word from. I will pass over, and the plague shall be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. And the plague shall not be, and the plague shall not be upon you. See, the Most High, very specific, and he said not be, because you don't want to be part of this. If you don't have the Most High, if you don't have that blood over your doorpost, then you're going to have some problems up in there. It says, you know, you're going to be destroyed. But this says right here in verse 13, and the blood shall be to you for a token upon the house where you are. And when I see the blood, when those death angels see that blood, man, that's what this is saying. When the death angels say, I see this blood here, I will pass over you, the children of Israel, blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians. That's what that is. That's how you know that we're the children of Israel. And the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt, because that's exactly, and we're going to get into some of those words, smite. We're going to get into a lot of different words here to understand some terms about the Passover, so you can see what the Lord is really saying in Hebrew, okay? And this day shall be unto you a memorial, and you shall keep it to the feast of the Lord throughout your generation. You shall keep it as a feast by an ordinance forever. Okay, Salaki for a second here. Let me get some people checked in the class here. Let me see here. Good Lord. Let's see. Comma sharp. Call to watch. Still frozen on my end. Video's frozen, you say? Yeah, man. If it's just put that, I put it in twice, Shar. So go ahead and change it back out. I mean, still frozen on your end. I may have to go back out and do this one again, Shar, if it's frozen on everybody. Apparently. Yeah, we may have to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to if it's frozen here. All right. Let's just try it again here. Let's see. Um, okay, let me see. All right. What about now? Let's see. Let me get my let's see if it's frozen here. Let me see. Okay, all right.